Hello and welcome back to Boring Dead Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader. I think we should get back out into the galaxy. So we need to go and check on one of our colonies, Kiava Gamma, I think. I understand these little situations that demand your presence. They don't generally have... They're not very complicated. It's a shame you can't deal with them remotely, because I'm going to have to go all the way from here over to... here. Hey. But yeah, that's fine. We'll just do it. I might actually make this a little bit safer, as I've got a bit more navigator insight now. We'll just bring it down to yellow. It's just a nice little cut through to here. Go here. Yeah, it'd be nice to get up there, but I'm not going to use insight to make a route. Yeah, it's fine. A trickle of disturbing news came from the navigation chambers over the last few days. Allegedly, there is a vast shadow following the void ship through the depths of the Sea of Souls. Mere hours before emerging in real space, the vessel shuddered. An unidentified leviathan had emerged from the roiling warp, wrapped its tentacle around the ship and started squeezing, trying to crack the hull like an egg. Let's trust the navigator's talent. Oh, she gained 2 more. The ship's navigator engaged the warp monster in invisible combat by giving orders from her chamber. By following the Astronomicon's guiding light and struggling against the mighty alien, seeking to break her at the same time, the ship managed to pry the void vessel from the nightmarish creature's grasp and execute an emergency translation to real space, with minimal losses among the crew and new insights into the nature of warp entities. And 2 more insight. Nice. I'm to 9 now. That's pretty cool. We're going over there, so we'll pop up to here. I think I've done that one before. Hold them at. That night, the Lord Captain and some of her crew were awakened by beautiful music. The sounds seemed to caress their very minds until they realized that the source was their own bodies. While their teeth were chattering out a staccato, their tendons were being plucked like strings by unseen hands, and invisible breaths flowed through their bones, turning them into mournful flutes. The illusion ended, but for a long time afterward, every movement made their hearts stutter in fear. Was the orchestra about to strike up once more? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, well, we're going to be at Kiava Gamma shortly, so we'll deal with that when we get there. That's the one we've seen before. Cranach. Let's jump in. So after we've done this, we'll go over to Dargonis and we'll get started on that main story side. Although I think it'll end the act when we're on Dargonis, so that'll be interesting. Lord Captain, a strange anomaly has been detected on Kiava Gamma. A series of orders, defined as Procedure 0C, forced itself into the production algorithms. The servants of the Omnissiah define its execution status as most sacred and therefore follow its instructions impeccably. In just one cycle, cameras were erected in all the manufactorums, connected by the computing channels of the cogitators. They make a pattern similar to those applied to the digital cells of the machine's spirits. The OC procedure commands Magi with an above-average psi receptivity index to enter the cells. Those tech priests who took their seats in the cells fall into a blissful data dream where they listen to the binaric hymns, very similar to those that periodically whirred from the warp vox of Cubus Delphim. The performance of the manufactorums has dropped. Many of the machine god servants have abandoned their post and are pleading for the privilege of fulfilling Procedures 0C. The enforcers have taken custody of the cells and ward these volunteers away from them. Weird. What do we know about this procedure? Could it be part of Delphim's legacy? We cannot trace the source of the signal that activated it or figure out what it means. The tech priests oppose the idea of researching the procedure as it violates the sacrament. Supposedly the minds of the Magos immersed in the cells are involved in some grand-scale computation. The servants of the Omnissiah have tested the cogitational network 7 times with purifying algorithms of varying degree of severity, proclaiming it clean. Advice? Are they singing? It is surprising that your race was able to achieve such a harmonious form of interaction with man-made tools. My kinsmen also use psychoacoustic harmonicas to guide our creations. I'm not a bone singer myself, but I might be able to tell you, your servants, of certain principles regarding how the universe sounds. I find this sacrilegious suggestion to be in breach of the Data Unity Protocol. A signal seemingly from nowhere that has the highest execution priority. A perfect weapon for capturing the planet. It should be anesthetized. Sorry, that's not right. Anathematized. And I am ready to summon a cadre of competent tech sorcists from the Inquisition. Let's research it. Your will be done. Your servants have started their interrogation, seeking to determine the nature and purpose of the mysterious procedure. They have encountered ancient creations of data smithing, impossible in the current times, and have been filled with a great awe. They could not fathom the wisdom of the digital archaeotech. But we got our Titanforged Lance weapon. Nice. Oh, we've got this as well. The Chartist Guild started a tariff war with the Protectorate. Trade and logistics in this world are suffering. Chartist Guild started a tariff war with the Protectorate. Appease, I suppose? Oh, we lost 2 profit factor. Oh, well, we just gained 2, so we're kind of the same place we were. The guild members arrogantly accepted the rogue traders' gifts and turned their attention away from the Protectorate. There we go. We're probably done here for the time being as well, aren't we? So I'm not sure when these other segments will open up. Hopefully at some point. Yeah, I think all our colonies now are at a point where we're kind of waiting for those additional boxes to open up. Ooh. Colony reward from Janus. We've got some of these surgeon medikits. They should be able to do more here, but doesn't look like it, does it? Alright. Well, I think I'm going to go back to the bridge because I want to talk to Janris, and because I think my profit factor has gone up quite a lot since the last time I did any trading, so I just want to go and see if we can afford anything else that might be useful. Let's go chat to him. Alright, so look at Hieronymus. Focus melter gun. I was wondering how that compares to what Abelard has got at the moment, because he has got something like this. We've actually got something very much like that. Oh no, this does a lot more damage. Plus 3 damage and deals up 10% stacking chance to stun an enemy for a turn. That is pretty nice, to be fair. I don't know if it's worth trying to get up to level 14 though. Condensing carapace. Okay, so what would this do for us? The wearer's critical hit chance in melee combat is increased by 2 times agility bonus. So I think agility on Abelard is 4? 8%. Hit chance in melee increased by 8%. 10% dodging. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. Theoretically, how much could we... Yeah, wouldn't be able to get up that far. What about Opticon? What's he got? Precise last gun. I just don't really see the need. I mean, okay, we'll take it and we'll stick it in cargo, and then we can use that as for trading. Don't really know what else to do with it, to be honest. I'll probably put the power claymore in there too. I can't see me using this. Well, let's not get rid of it just yet. Oh, so much stuff here. That could be good on Yeliot. Like, 1 AP for each consecutive turn she's not spent MP. But she does tend to stay in one spot. Theoretically, how much could we trade with them? About the same. We can get up to level 14 fairly easily. We already got rid of one of those. Got any stimulants? It's a pretty nice sniper rifle, to be fair. 17. I mean, we'd have to be able to trade a lot with him. Yeah, we can't actually trade anything with him at this point. Really, though? Oh, yeah, no, we can. That's level 17. Okay, nothing right now, then. Blood aim. If the wearer suffers damage, their enemies suffer from 1 to 3 warp damage. For each cell the enemy has moved. Huh. I would give it to Cassia, but it's for heretical followers, so she won't be able to use it anyway. But that wouldn't be bad for someone, maybe like myself, who sets people on fire quite a lot. Or Argenta. Oh, that's Eldari. Whenever the wearer kills a target with a single ranged attack for the first time in combat, she immediately gets an extra attack this round. I mean, that's got to be pretty good, isn't it? I wish you could see on here, kind of like... Yeah, it is Eldari equipment, so she would definitely be able to use it, it sounds like. Can we get up that high, though? Probably not. Why? No. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Something to bear in mind, though. Fellowship of the Void. Yeah, I mean, we'll take that. We'll stick it straight into cargo. Okay. And then we've got these guys. Warpship weapons are targeting data, granting 90% hit chance. And okay, that would be quite good. Torpedo shield 4 with 27. Not as good as what we've got now. I'd like to move further up this tree, though. There's lots of good stuff. I mean, maybe if we... I just take all this stuff, because I can afford it. And maybe stick it straight into cargo? Because then I can sell it back to them. That's the new one we're going to install. Right, how can I trade stuff with them? No, not really. Oh, it's not ship parts they want. Oh, okay. It's kind of stuff you get from ship combat, isn't it? Fair enough. Alright. Well, guess we'll leave that for now. There's lots of good stuff in this tree, though, but we can go and install that thing that we got. This thing. That's not... Is that it? Yeah, so up 84 to 98, up from 60 to 70, so that is really good. There we go. This old one, I guess we chuck in cargo. We were given 2 of these, weren't we? It's a bit weird that we were given 2. So there's nowhere else to put them. I'm... Sonic thing interests me. Like, is that beneficial, having sonic weapons? I mean, it's a lot less damage. I might Google that actually, because I'm interested to know if there's a appreciable difference between those. So it doesn't say it here. But I found a Steam thread where someone saying these don't require a turn cooldown, which is huge because you can just drop these every turn. So it's less damage, but you can drop them. But let's see how that works out, because that could be really good. We'll keep an eye on that in our next combat. All right, time to go to Dargonus, I think. Look at the journal, but I think I've basically done everything I can apart from this. Dargonus. Oh well, that's not Dargonus, but yeah. If we look at rumours, what have we got going on here? A wandering trader calling himself the Pilgrim is eager for information about worlds rich in energy crystals. Porta Serpentum. Okay, we could try and visit him maybe. Data on that. That was a weird one. Alright, well let's head back to the galaxy map. Serpentum something. It's kind of in like a little triangle in between it. Ah. He reckons he's here. I reckon maybe we'll have a look around these three systems and see if we can find this trader. Might be that we have now got what he's after. Foulstone Colony event. I think we've seen that anyway. What's going on in Foulstone? Collect my trophy. Alright. Foulstone's not too far away from where we're going, I don't think. Yeah, it's down there, so we can do that. Is it the Recologies? I can't remember. Let's go over and say hello to them anyway. They are a store. It might be they can do something. Or something to sell us. Oh, okay, it's been deserted. Let's dismantle it. The workers and servitors hastily flood the empty decks. Your people will need time to fully dismember the old ship, but until then, this forgotten chunk of metal belongs to the von Valancius dynasty. Huzzah! Yeah, okay. It's not them then. Oh, we need to repair our hull. It made it look like he was around here, so I'm guessing he's somewhere in between these three. I guess we'll check this one as well. Let's go around that wall gate, I can't remember. It'll work for now then. Okay, it's not here then. past that last chance of Serene again. I should have checked when we were there last. Oh well. Tech Priest reported a brief malfunction in the Gellerfield generator that left the vessel exposed to the warp for a brief second. Something's now prowling the corridors down there. Some patrols. Oh, some trophies. Several armed teams left to search for the unknown creature that had invaded the vessel. All but 2 returned with nothing to show for it but hair turned prematurely grey and horror stories of what was happening in Loading Bay 5. One team brought back a bizarre trophy allegedly found behind a shattered bulkhead. The last team was never seen or heard from again. Well, trophies is good. I'll take those. I've heard the snake one before. Oh, taking some damage. That's alright. Well, there's no one here. Don't know what that room is all about. I've totally forgotten. I think the rumours page really could do with some work because it's not... I don't know. It's not particularly user-friendly, I don't personally think. Okay, no, we have done that one. Plasteel I probably didn't. Adamantine I might have done. Let's go check. Could always do with adamantine. Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, no. Oh. No, it does. Someone was asking about this. That was on 3. It's now removed it, so I'd rather have the 3 adamantine. Let's see. Alright, well I guess we'll go down to Foulstone. How do we get down there? It's Janus. Where's Foulstone? Oh, it's the next system over. Alrighty. So we've seen that before. Janus and then Foulstone. Let's do this. A warp breach. Give them some guns. They aren't worth a lot to traders, those things. What's going on here? Hang on. Anyway, here we are. Let's pop over to Foulstone then. What was that? Nothing happened. Great. Okay, worth it. Where the hell again? What's going on? Okay, Dargonos or bust then. I don't think there's anything else I can do now until we move the story on anyway. Let's come at it from that angle. It's only about 3 jumps actually. Or 4. Maybe no, 2. Yeah, 4 jumps. 3. That's fine. Up to Mundus, but I haven't actually been in this system yet, so there should be a little bit to explore as well. But this is the administrative heart of the Von Valancius Empire, apparently. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valancius dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We have received countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when their mistress will be arriving. The merchant captains taking refuge in the orbital docks of Dargonus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favour and to make an impression on the rogue trader. Tell Dargonus the rogue trader is coming home. It will be done, Lord Captain. Spiders in a jar. After the connection to the master helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Heinrich's voice. Lord Captain, I'll be pleased to accompany you during your visit to the Dargonus, so I can personally introduce Achilles Scalander, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I am counting on your benevolence. The Voxcast ends with a click. Right, what do we have? Well, there's Dargonus. We've got an Adeptus Mechanicus ship in orbit. Why don't we just do this stuff first? For Phlogiston. Oh, absolutely, we'll mine that. Nothing there. How did this world look before it was enveloped in a fiery shroud? Was it your ancestors, Elantak, who disgorged its core in some ill-considered act? She doesn't like humans at all, does she? Alright, Dargonus it is. Let's do the Adeptus Mechanicus ship first. Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of the Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magos Tarsus' delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your ladyship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable. Let's just receive them. It will be done, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. Yeah, sure. It's Opticon. We've met Opticon, haven't we? Let's talk to him. Oh.
I tread a path unexplored.
A group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walk towards you. Their gazes are fixed on Pascal. You note that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow a large tech priest clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest points his hand at Pascal and lets out a booming roar not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald servo skulls marked with the emblem of the cog follow in his wake. They blare shrilly, "Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pascal Hanneman, in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest." The hunched servant of the Omnissiah turns to you. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies, would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit on the rogue trader's territory. Let's study them. You identify the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a Secutor's plated mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then convulsions shake the tech priest's body and a painful sounding hiss comes from his vox. The tall tech priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. Who are you? Oops, I did the wrong thing. Willingness to cooperate recorded. Mandate expanded. I request the right to conduct non-interference in the operation to detain, arrest, terminate the unit falsely identifying itself as Pascal Hanuman. This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kiava Gamma, and making an attempt on the life of a servant of the Omnissiah. The deafening roar from the tech priest Vox makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnissiah, I condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of his Vox alarm. In contrast, Pascal speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. The statement is false. Tech brother Tarzus Hanuman is willingly undergoing holy torment deterioration, which, however, does not critically affect his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pascal Hanuman, we have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of the retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of rogue trader von Valancius, we have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Does the big fellow have to roar? Negative. Upon completing his sanctification procedure, Tech Brother Tarzus modified his engrammatic augments algorithms in order never to desecrate, sully, tarnish his Malfox cognitive process with flesh speak. Mine is a pure and binaric tongue that preserves only what is true and shuns scrap data. Are you saying this bloodthirsty Hulk is a saint? This statement is true. Brother Tarzus has the honor of wearing, or the realization to wear, the sacred battle harness that belonged to Magos Militant or Spectre Gracchus, one of the first champions of the faith, holy scouts, to join the cause of conquering the Coronus expanse. After his death, the termination of his vital functions at the hands of Xenos, his damaged Goliath-class armor was preserved and given the status of a relic. Yikes. The Adeptus Mechanicus regard this act as a voluntary martyrdom, self-destruction for the glory of the Deus Mechanicus. This battle harness is classified as Cogni armor. The machine spirit living in it is strong and wise, but it took major damage in the course of Magos Gracchus' last battle. Besides sacred litanies and imperatives of service to the Omnissiah, the armor broadcasts a continuous signal of suffering and agony into the Tech Brother Tarzus' mind. Do you have proof that this tech priest is who he claims to be? Confirmed. According to the archive entry, Magos Explorator Tarzus Hanuman maintained the ship identifier classified in the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and the sacred part of his body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation, an assassination attempt. Owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence, by the Omnissiah's grace, enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his vital functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified. The sound from the tech priest's box is like the moan of bending steel beam. A servo skull declares, "For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks." Analysis of the security system showed that the assassins, heretics, infiltrated the reliquary using Tech Brother Tarzus' unique identification code. Someone had duplicated Brother Tarzus' identity, which is a Grade 3 transgression, and the unit making the allegedly criminal claim of being Pascal Hanuman is known to have previously entered the stolen code. How do you suppose Pascal was involved in the events on Kiava Gamma? Our data suggests that the unit which uses Magos Explorator Hanuman's identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to this unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubus Delphim. What do you have to say to this, Pascal? Pascal replies firmly, his Vox crackling with a hint of indignation. I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrade. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I am the true Magos Explorator Hanuman, and I am not guilty. The tech priest's deep guttural roar blends with the servo skull's high-pitched whine. False witness! I'm not handing Pascal over unless I see evidence. Let us get to the bottom of this matter together. Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode. Tarsus gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving Tech Brother Tarsus. Archiving. Tech Brother Tarsus opposes lay participation in the investigation. Search for the truth. The Unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House Valon Valancius' representative's participation request. Let's do the Law Imperium. I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a rogue trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of the law and my privileges under the warrant of trade. Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Tarsus' consent to the co-participation of representatives of the Von Valancius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse help from lay persons. I am a cog of the Deus Mechanicus that grinds down corruption, and I will carry out the sentence immediately. Pascal freezes, but green sparks light up in his visor. He extends a hand towards Tarsus and replies in a clanging voice, "Let the cycle be discontinued." You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. Then every sensor on the Executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armoured Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention! Priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Thread supply line are unauthorized to confront the rogue trader. Command, retreat, and reinitiate negotiations. Don't know what that's about. Heretic Pascal, I will wreak punishment upon you in the name of the Deus Mechanicus. Oh, Pascal's been making friends. Oh, Opticon left.
To the dark powers.
We're in a fight, okay. Alrighty. Me. Get there fairly central. Abliard, let's put you there. Cassia's going to go first, so it doesn't really matter where she goes. Argenta, let's pop her there. Joliet, let's pop her there. So. Alright, so first of all let's give Dahlia a nice little boost.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Right, now how would you guys all like to attack each other?
If you insist, Lord Captain.
I don't like that guy. Okay, let's just make these guys run away.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I am a navigator, not a servitor. If I may, I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
We'll just bring her around to safety.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Argenta.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart! I'll do it.
Alright, let's give it a go.
This is why I was... Faith without deeds is worthless.
High momentum.
Alright, what else can we do here?
Purpose guides me.
Can't really buff ourselves too much else apart from...
There is no mercy found in my heart.
There he goes.
I need no guidance. I will delight my masters with your demise.
Keep him on fire.
Ruin beckons.
Give Argenta
One
another
step
go.
closer.
There you go. Look, set someone on fire as well. How about you?
I will triumph. I need no guidance.
We've got another go. Alright, well,
I will
Yeah.
triumph. Purpose guides me.
keep burning, peeps. Early yet. Well, let's give you some, yeah, why not?
If I must. I
Both as
am not
prey.
your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight. This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
It should kill both of them.
If it serves your cause, another soul
There you
slips
go.
beyond the veil.
Requesting cessation of hostilities. Sorry that you had to kill a comrade. I also have a negative assessment of this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accuse the unit identifying itself as Pascal Hanneman of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarsus, I am not authorized to immediately execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. The piercing voice from the Vox synth is more overwhelming than Tarsus's thunderous roar. Tech Brother Tarsus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over, I declare them martyrs, and requisitioning Tarsus Hanneman's neural augmetic for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. As astonished tech priests look on, Pascal leans over the slain man's body and extracts the augmetic from his skull. His movements are as precise as they are respectful. Whatever you just did, it's working. Keep going. With each word, Pascal's voice grows more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony your tech brother Tarsus was in. His unbridled pain-spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voices to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence has paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge, yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There is a clang as Opticon's knee presses into the floor. Crimson hooded heads are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. Pascal, there's one small point I'm not clear on. What just happened? Pascal's voxynth crackles somewhat tentatively. I decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the Blessed Amanat's sermons, on loss of internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. What was the reason for that act of genuflection? It has been a long time since the words of the Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken openly over public communication bans. We respectfully welcome wisdom's return. So he is not forgotten after all. The Messiah of discontinuing, is that how you refer to Amanat? Following Archmagos Amanat's partial laicization, removal from the chain of command, that was the authorship attribution on a series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the cognizance fleet. It was in fact a title used by many in times past. Is Amanat's teaching not heretical? This statement is false. Contrary to what many servants of the Omnissiah thought they knew or preferred to believe, the Fleet Supreme's conclave never formulated or issued an official statement on that decision. 37% of the Supreme Conclave's members openly supported Archmagos Amanat's views and disappeared, were removed from the chain of command under circumstances that were classified. The Supreme Conclave has not had a quorum ever since. Do you know where Amanat is now? Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagos Amanat since the incident on the Arch Mechanicus Hermetico, which led to the presumed destruction and disappearance of that void ship. My archive has no data on the Hermetico incident. The vessel was the Blessed Amanat's base of operations. Is it lost then? Pascal's voice is filled with anxiety. Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Archmagos Amanat and was never a member of his flock, disciples, retinue. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired in me deep respect for, trust in, him. I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved? The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen tech brother Tarsus' hypothesis into question. Out of respect for, due to lack of authorization to indict, followers of the Messiah of discontinuing, we will not proceed with the detainment, arrest, termination. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22. Now that the conflict has been resolved, you may remain aboard my ship. Request denied. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonus, expresses gratitude for the hospitality ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. The tech priest looks over at Pascal as if waiting for something. Pascal's mechadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully. I have no idea what just happened. If anyone can shed any light on that in the comments, that would be gratefully appreciated. I guess we can rob his corpse now. What's he got? Nothing good. Ugh. All rubbish, really, isn't it? Alright.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Thought you might have some cool armor for Pascal, but it seems not. Oh well.
Intriguing.
On to Dargonus then. Alright, well, let's land on the planet. Let's go to the Administratum first, then. Turn after turn, the unceasing stream of petitioners pours through the palace doors. The strong-willed wait patiently, while the weak-willed try everything they can to get ahead of the others.
Embrace true power.
What we got?
Greeting protocol. Welcome to the Palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Identifying your ladyship. Please follow me.
Okay.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Checking coordinates. Continue in this direction to reach your destination. Your visit has been logged.
Okay.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Inkwell of Livella the Impartial, first master of seals of the Coronis Expanse. Sacred Scroll, the 1005 Admonitions of the Master of Inventory Avicilius to the Adepts of the Administratum. Master of Seals. An ancient-looking woman in a voluptuous robe peers at you critically through her ocular lenses when you descend into the bowels of her bureaucratic domain.
Another noble bypassing the queue under the pretext of just wanted to ask? All you highborn ever want is just to ask. But what about protocol? That's what I'm asking. Who is going to follow protocol?
Jay glances at you and whispers, "What? So I paid off a few clerks to let us skip the queue, Shireen. Your time is more important to me than any little formalities."
Well, very well. Don't just stand there. You're here now. Or do you think the Master of Seals has nothing better to do than receive unexpected visitors?
The old woman beckons over a servo skull floating nearby.
Begin entry. Current hour, current turn, current cycle, 41st millennium.
Metal manipulators immediately begin feverishly clacking, taking dictation. Don't you want to know who I am?
Dahlia von Berinicus von Valancius, sole heir of rogue trader Theodora von Valancius. May the throne's radiance guide her path on the other side.
In a practiced move, the Master of Seals twists her magnifying ocular lens and examines the ledger in front of her.
The sole person to publicly assert their claim, to be precise. Abelard Wassarian.
The old woman directs her gaze over your shoulder.
Seneschal and right hand of the now departed Theodora von Valancius, and of her now extant heir.
The colourless eye of the Master of Seals suddenly fixed on Cassia.
A lady navigator of House Orcelio, whose name and deeds are unknown to me.
She points her finger at the old ledger.
It says here that the von Valancius dynasty has owed your house 1 gold throne for 30 cycles. Here, take this, and I, at last, will mark the matter closed.
Cassia stares in amazement at the gleaming coin in her hand. House Orcelio thanks you for your service, Master of Seals. The old woman smacks her lips in satisfaction and nods curtly.
Of course I know who's standing before me. It is my job to know.
Jay shifts, deliberately putting her jeweled augmetic on display. Does that mean my reputation has preceded me as well, esteemed Damar?
No, I've received no reports about you.
What is this place? The Master of Seals raises her eyebrows in surprise.
You are in the very heart of the Palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Day and night, hundreds of thousands of prefects, ordinates, scribes, servants and servitors carry out their duties to humanity and the von Valancius dynasty here, never setting foot outside its boundaries for decades at a time. But knowledge comes through comparison. There are entire worlds belonging to the Administratum, so this palace is but a humble cog in the blessed machine of the Imperium.
Tell me about yourself.
I am the law, and I oversee order in this section of the Coronis Expanse, as well as on worlds of the von Valancius Protectorate in accordance with ancient covenants made with your ancestors. I hold the power to grant petitioners what they seek, and to punish criminals for failing to carry out the Imperium's will.
She's ancient enough herself. Look at her, she's a bona fide living mummy. Tell me about the work of the Adeptus Administratum.
One would think the Protectorate's heir has no care for her tongue if she is so willing to wag it to the point of blistering. However, I, despised servant of the Emperor that I am, do not possess the gift of unallocated time. Let us proceed to the matter of your application. My companion wishes to obtain a Mercatum Tabula Officiale. Master of Seals peers over her ocular lenses at Jay in disbelief, and then she looks at you. I take it you are her sponsor. In that case, you must submit a written application form in conformity with the template number 404.01, as well as written permission for the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Without it, I cannot issue Mistress Haydari. Mistress Haydari, the form for collecting the seals required to obtain the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, the certificate of an official trade representative. At these words, the saccharine smile drops from Jay's face. Seals? What seals? We will discuss that when Dahlia von Berinicus von Valancius has prepared the primary documentation. Aula lets out a stoic sigh and rolls his eyes. You get the feeling that this is not his first personal interaction with the Administratum bureaucracy, nor is it his second. It just says, I think I found the seals on one of the previous side worlds I visited, so it just says complete application form, blah blah blah. The perfectly sharpened quill scratches pleasantly on the parchment, but for the first few minutes... The obfuscatory phrasing, footnotes and amendments, you're forced to write out the same details over and over about you, the Protectorate, Theodora von Valancius, Jay, and then also every living person who bears your family name. If you do not know all the required information, you must complete supplementary forms. Okay. The Master of Seals nods in approval and stows the scroll into a tube labelled with your name. Next is the consent form for the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Okay, written consent. The scroll is whipped away into another tube by the Master of Seals. Protocol executed, application received, processed, approved. The Servo Skull scribe taps out each word after its mistress's pronouncement. Come on, Istian Damar, what was that you were saying about seals? The old woman unhurriedly holds out a printed scroll to Jay. Here is your document, Mistress Haydari. Unfortunately, it does not yet have legal force. I can certify it as a sacred Mercatum Tabula Officiale once it has received 2 seals of approval. They are easy to obtain. In the Imperium Court, Administratum servitors have been handling such tasks for over 150 cycles. There is one such servitor here on Dargonis in the Rogue Trader's Palace. The second is duty-bound to keep the seal in the Telecos Epsilon system. That's where Janus is, isn't it? Fine. Please do return once you've prepared the documents. So has that removed the seals from my... No, because that's what I had. I think that's what I got. Can't remember now. Anywho. Yes, I guess we leave.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Okay, so what was going on here? Okay, yeah, okay, we'll have to go to Janus and then Dargonis. Yeah, so I did that one, didn't I? Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there for now. So when we come back, we'll head over to the other location in Dargonis. And yeah, carry on with the main story. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, if you could hit the thumbs up button, that would be great. As I said earlier, you know, leave a comment if you have any idea what was going on with that tech priest scene that we had. I'm slightly mystified by the entire thing, but you know, good to hear your thoughts. And if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'd be great if you could do that as well. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.